are going to talk about dollhouses. I'm going to give you a few suggestions, advice and secrets to start your own dollhouse. Now, I've created a lot of dollhouses and castles throughout the years. I've started with very basic shapes and little by little, year after year, I've improved them. I've done some small ones, I've done some big castle like the Sleeping Beauty castle, some castle which were not necessarily dollhouses, but they were very big architecture. The very last one I had done was not a dollhouse, it was the medieval castle, which was a book medieval garden that I've created for an exhibition, but I've also done a lot of classic dollhouses with the matching furniture, the characters, and well, the story inside the house. So I often get this question from some apprentice magicians enrolled in my workshops if they could recycle some boxes, some materials they have for dollhouses or sometimes for other projects. If it's not a very good idea to recycle things they already have and reuse them, like boxes, cardboard boxes for the walls of the house or some sort of cylinders they would have. In most of cases, this is going to end up with waste of time, waste of supplies, and a lot of headaches because the cardboard or the material you are going to use is not going necessarily to react really well with the glue you are going to have, with the weight of the glue, the weight of the paper, and you will end up having to fix a lot of problems. I've done my very first dollhouse in cardboard. I didn't know better at the time and I used what I thought was a very good idea. It was a decent house, but there was a lot of little problems. Nothing was really straight and I realized it was not a good solution. And time and supplies are precious, so it's better not to waste them. So I would recommend not to try to recycle anything but paper, any paper you have in your home. If you want to create a dollhouse in paper, in papier-mâché or in paper techniques, which can be different, not all of these things are the same. And is everything made in paper exactly papier-mâché? I have this question absolutely all the time. So there are a lot of paper techniques. There is the papier-mâché technique, which is usually with newspaper. The classical technique was with flour and water. Now it's mainly wallpaper based and newspaper, which are more and more difficult to find newspaper these days. And from there are a lot of variations possible. I've used for a lot of big projects the papier-mâché technique because it's easy, it can allow to do very big things, but it has also some restrictions and limits that it takes quite a bit of time to dry depending on the season. You have to apply other paper or other thing on top of it just to finish it for the result I want to achieve at least. Years after years, I've almost stopped using it. I only keep it for very big things. And even now, I have to say, even the very last big castle I have created for the exhibition about the gardens that you had seen, which was the medieval castle, there was not anything in this castle which was made with the classical papier-mâché technique. I use my own techniques that I've developed and created throughout the years, as other artists who work with paper do, and just for the convenience of it, because there were limits with the papier-mâché technique, which sometimes bothered me a bit. What takes the longest when you want to create a dollhouse? What is going to be the longest and the most time-consuming thing to do? There are many things you need to think in advance before you start to imagine, draw your house, and start maybe to get the different openings, the windows, the doors, everything. The windows, depending if you want to have some super sophisticated windows or some more simple ones, are what takes the longest, especially if you want something nice, sculpted a little. In this version, for the first dollhouse workshop here, we have some rather simple windows. Even though they are simple, you need to have quite a bit of windows for your house. It can't be all dark, but it takes a bit of time. So usually what I recommend for my apprentice magician is maybe to focus on a handful of nice windows for the facade maybe, or for the towers, or for something nice in the architecture of the house, and do something maybe a bit more simple for the rest if it takes a little too long. For the new dollhouse workshop, we are working in a more detailed way. Yes, the windows here are quite important, and I wanted to have some nice windows. We are imitating here real architecture and wheel sculpture and doing a lot of details which are going to look really nice once we paint it. So the approach is different. But windows are very time consuming, so you have to think about that before you start to plan your house, and maybe have some walls with very few windows, just to be sure you will be able to finish your house if you know you are a little limited in time. What medium would be the easiest to use to start to make your dollhouse? Of course, you can use wood, which has been used throughout the years and the centuries to create dollhouses. I have some dollhouses belonging to my family which are made in wood. You need some specific tools and some techniques to do it. And you are limited by the weight and the non-flexibility of the wood. Now, paper and more flexible material will allow you to play, of course, with all the shapes you want. You have no limits of shape. It's also much lighter. So this house, for the example now, for now it is not finished, of course. It's the house of the new Dollhouse workshop. It's extremely light at this stage. It's going to be a little more heavy as we go to the finishes, add more details, add more things, but it's relatively light compared to a house in wood. Now, if you want to do a dollhouse, what shape, what scale using, what you need to take into account before you start. Something very important, you need to be sure your hands can access to any places. And don't create some corners inside the house that you know you will not be able to access. With your brushes, with your paints, you need to be able to access to any part and to be able to put your hands under each corner, each staircase, and still being able to access it just to, well, sculpt it, paint it, decorate it, and having fun doing it so that it doesn't end up being something so annoying that you just leave it like that. Being sure if you are not a miniaturist, if you are just someone who likes to play, who likes to do craft, but who likes to also be comfortable creating and using your tools and brushes, that you can put your hand in any corner of the house and be able to access and to paint any part. Can anyone do a dollhouse, even if you are, for example, not a very trained expert in craft, in art, or anything like that, but you would love to do your own dollhouse, you have dreamed of doing it? Yes, you can absolutely do it. I think the skills or the qualities you need to have to start, complete your house, and to really make a really nice house are rather patience, of course, because it's a project which can't be done in 2 weekends, as you can imagine. You need to invest a bit of time in it and to enjoy the investment. That's the thing. You need to enjoy making progress in your house and seeing come into life, really. You need to be patient. You will have to have a bit of measurements at the beginning to put all your windows into place, having everything aligned. You just need to be a little disciplined and a little structured in your work, actually. You don't necessarily need to have very advanced sculpting skills to start your dollhouse. You need to have some commitment, some patience, an appetite, and an excitement to do something like that, which is going to be a bit big unless you do a tiny dollhouse. You could do a very small dollhouse, but you need to have these qualities, which are more important than being extremely skilled in sculpting or painting faces or creating animals. None of that is important for a dollhouse. But you need to be patient and happy to start your house, and well, enjoying creating this little world, because a dollhouse is a little world. You are imagining the decor, the furniture, the different sort of rooms you will have, well, maybe the characters who will live there afterwards, or maybe you already have some characters and you would like to create a house around them. So all these are really more important. Just being able to start and to work for 7 weeks on a project like that before it's finished and completed, and really enjoying the entire journey, which is really exciting and really fascinating. I enjoy doing all my dollhouses and castles because it's just something different than a character. It's a real architecture world. working right now on a new dollhouse workshop, which is very different from the first one. There is no big towers, removable towers, there is no staircases like this one on the front. There will be other artistic and architectural challenges. We are working in a more detailed way here for this one. It's a big house, but a small house. This one is much less deep than this one, so it's going to be pretty easy to have in your home if you don't have a lot of space, though this one could be adapted and you could definitely make it a less deep and not follow exactly the measurements I give for the depth of the house. So it can be adapted, and inside the workshop of the castle you also have a smaller house. You can also start a smaller house if it's a little too much for you for the beginning. And in the smaller house you don't have staircases, it's a more simple house but with fun walls, fun roof and a lot of fun things. Here we have another sort of roof too for this one. It's called un toit en bateau inversé. So this is some architecture we see in different castles or houses. I was inspired also a bit by the little houses you see sometimes in the garden of castle, the gatekeeper house, or this sort of houses which have often very fun. They look a little like doll houses. They are very small but have a castle architecture but in tiny version. So here it's more realistic. We are going to have a lot of fun and interesting painting techniques too. It's different. It's completely two different dollhouse workshops. One is more playful, fantasy, colorful. The other is going to be more realistic. So this one is not open yet. I'm continuing to work on it. But if you want to be notified when it opens, you can join the waiting list and be notified the moment it will be open if you think you are more interested in doing something like this. But this one is open during the entire month of March, and you can of course join the two workshops if you have a passion for dollhouses and you would like to do a bit of the two. You can totally do that. But for now, the one which is open is the Big Pink Castle, and there is a launching offer which is available till March 22. This workshop has not reopened last year. It's the first time it reopened since 2024, so it has been closed for quite a while. You can join it right now, and it's going to remain open till the end of March, only during the month of March. So if you are interested in creating a fairy tale, quite big castle, you can join this workshop right now. And we will have also some series of video group calls to really help you and be sure you are on the right track to complete your house. So there are many calls coming till the middle of spring to help you start and complete your house. You have all the information, all the details about the two dollhouses workshops under this video. Now let me know if you are interested and would dream to do your own dollhouse someday. And did you have a dollhouse when you were a child? Is it something you love to play with as a child? And is it something you would like to have more in your life as an adult too? I think dollhouses can be more than a decorative piece of art in our home, but a little more than that for our entire life, from our childhood to our teenagehood to later in life, because also you can continue to work on it and improve them year after year. You can of course have the main things done, but little by little you can add something and making it better as you go and have it in a very specific place in your home, because you have something a bit magical here, which is a world of its own, with its furniture, with its decoration. It's a miniature home, so I think there's something pretty special with it that I personally really like. So thank you very much for watching this video about dollhouses. I hope it has inspired you maybe to create your own, and if you need help, maybe I will see you on the other side. For now, I will leave you here. I thank you very much for watching, and you can subscribe if you don't want to miss the nice videos coming. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon. So the Dollhouse Workshop has reopened its doors, and it's going to be open during the entire month of March. The enrollments are going to close on March 31st. dreamed of making your own dollhouse, here you are going to have a workshop which is going to help you do your house, doing a big staircase. There is an inside staircase with several towers which are moving, with a roof which is opening, with a wall door also which allow you to have access to the inside, which is inspired by all the past dollhouses I've created. It's a sort of adaptation of the different dollhouse I've created throughout the years. We also have a series of complimentary group calls to help you get started, make progress and complete your house between the end of March and the beginning of May. I can't wait to see you in the dollhouse.